Hello, welcome back. I'm very excited for today. This is the final video in a series of 4 in which I present Guitar Teacher's Heaven. Today we are looking at section 3, the party tricks section. Now I've included these party tricks because I'd like to send you and your students off into the world with some exciting, shocking techniques that are sure to turn heads. So again, before we get going, I want to remind you that we are tuned down half a step. So if you'd like to play along with this video, please tune down to E flat standard. All right, let's get going. This is party trick number 1, 4-finger chromatic tapping. Okay, so essentially we are hammering on chromatic scales and we're tapping the second half of each bar. So forget about this one for now, but you see what this is we're hammering on with 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're hammering on with fingers 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not sure if you've ever seen these, but this is what you would call the fingers in finger picking. So they would call the right hand P for thumb, I is index, M is your middle, A is your ring finger, and C is your pinky. So if you look at what's happening here is we're hammering on with finger left hand, we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, and then with the right hand, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then again, left hand, we do 4 notes, right hand, 4 notes. And each time we're pulling off to land on, if you look at the first note of each bar, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we end on the 7. So it grows and it sounds pretty cool. So I'll do it one more time and I'll try to add some speed. Cool, so you might as well get a little reckless, and I'm sure you will have all the attention at a party if you were to whip this out. I'm not sure how it would sound on an acoustic or something like that, but if you tried this with distortion, for instance, it would sound really jarring and shocking. So get that under your hands, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Okay, on to party trick number 2. This is very similar to party trick number 1, except we're not doubling back. This is really just one straight line. It's a string of numbers. If you look, this is every fret from 0, 1, 2, all the way up to 12, 13, 14, 15. So this is cool because even though it is a chromatic scale, it sort of outlines an E minor chord because we start on this open E, which is very heavy, and then we climb all the way up, and we end on this minor 11th. So, sorry, minor 10th. We end on this minor 10th interval. And so it sort of outlines an E minor, and yeah, it sounds really cool. So the challenge here is your hands are going to be crossing over left hand, right hand, left hand, right hand. So check this out. Okay? So I got a little crazy there because I want to up the crazy today. So have some fun with that. And the best comparison I can make if you play piano at all, I'm not a very big pianist, but when I do, I can usually impress people by playing arpeggios in multiple octaves, and that has you crossing your left hand over your right hand over your left. And so this is the closest analog, I'd say, to that sort of thing. So this is kind of like playing a piano, except you're hammering every note down, okay? So that one's a lot of fun, and it will be challenging at first, but you'll get it. So let's move on. All right, party trick number 3. Use this to startle your girlfriends. I don't know why I wrote that, but it helped get this a pretty good response. Again, people have a passion for vulgarity, so I find anytime you see something shocking, like this isn't what they were expecting to read today. So why this is startling at all is because we're playing a whole tone scale here. Well, this is an augmented chord, which is sort of based on a whole tone scale. And so we haven't looked at these at all today, and it's not something that I show often because there's not a lot of utility in augmented chords. They sound Just a very bizarre, absolutely bizarre. And we end on this A. So what this is sort of like, progression-wise, is this is like we're playing an E augmented chord, and then we end on an A minor. So it has this A harmonic minor feel to it. So listen to this. So we outline this huge E augmented chord. And then ending on that A just gives this feel like we're playing the fifth, like it's sort of like a cadence, like an augmented fifth landing on this A minor. So you could play a big A minor bar chord if you want, but it's okay if you don't. Very startling. All right, and of course, this is sort of economy sweeping again, where we sweep as often as we can. And yeah, this is a nice picking exercise, but I called it a party trick because it's very bizarre. Okay, so let's move on from party trick number 3. Here is party trick number 4. Something about augmented scales. They just have this shocking sound to them. So what we're going to do here is, this could very well have been added in the picking and scales section, but again, it's nothing that I would take that seriously. It will sound really cool at a party and you could rip through this, but don't worry about it. You don't have to really figure out just what's going on here. So check this out. Hiccup there. I'm going to play it again. Perfect. So you see I put these, what I call the little hats. These are very heavy accents, so we're playing triplets, and I just, again, want you to really accent the first note of each triplet. Okay, so this is what we'd call a whole tone scale. If you went, for instance, 0, 2, 4, 3, 5, and it climbed all the way up, this is sort of based on this augmented scale where it sounds like this. I don't have it tabbed here, but it sounds like this. So basically, there are no semitones in that scale. It's just a whole tone on a whole tone, whole tone, whole tone. So you could make a lesson out of that if you wanted to. But today we're using this for alternate picking E augmented scale, and it sounds really shocking, I hope. So whip that out at a party and see what they say. All right, party trick number 5. This is probably the most insane thing we're going to do today, and this is tapping octaves. C major 1, 2, 3, 5. We played that sequence yesterday at the start of video 3. So take a listen to this. It's all tapping, and it looks really crazy, and it will sound crazy too. Okay, so I repeated it, I think, 4 times there. And so if you look, we're tapping octaves, so you can see what's going on here. We're going left hand, so with the left hand we go 1, 4, so index and pinky. And then with the right hand we're tapping with IA, which is actually your index and your ring. So with the left hand it's always index and pinky, and with your right hand it's always index and ring. So left hand, right hand, left hand, right hand, left hand, right hand. And these are just octaves, right? So we're tapping octaves. So that's an octave, and so on. And if you took away all the insanity, again, we're just going 1, 2, 3, 5, but this is what the sequence would sound if we weren't tapping everything. So those are basically the notes that we're playing, but because we're tapping, it sounds really shocking. Okay, and you could move this to a few other chords. What I'm going to do, just for a demonstration, is I'll run this sequence on a G major, 1, 2, 3, 5, and then an A minor, 1, 2, 3, 5, and then a B minor, flat 5, 1, 2, 3, 5, and then we'll end on this position, the C, 1, 2, 3, 5. You whip that out at a party and the place will be going bonkers, I'm sure. Okay, let's move on. Okay, this is the biggest possible E major arpeggio. And for that matter, it's actually the biggest arpeggio that we can play on the guitar. So I like the idea of superlatives and doing everything full throttle, taking it as far as it's willing to go. So if you look how I've divided this, I put it in 3/4 because this is the first 3 notes of the triad. So root, third, fifth, and then we're in the next octave, root, third, fifth, root, third, fifth, root, third, fifth, and then here's a very high root. Whenever you see a notation, this in the notation, when it's sort of a hollow, diamond-shaped note, it means it's a harmonic. So this is a natural harmonic up at fret 24. Now, I don't have fret 24 on my guitar, so I have to sort of wing it and imagine where it would be. I have 22 frets, so you have to imagine roughly where it would be, and you achieve this just by, we haven't talked about harmonics, but you just rest your finger on where you think the 24th fret would be, and you pull away. I hope you can hear it there. Okay, so I'm about to play the biggest arpeggio, the biggest triadic arpeggio that you can play on this instrument. Okay? And in case you're wondering, this really high harmonic up there, that's also the harmonic that we hit at fret 5. You can maybe hear it a little better down there. Okay? You more so hear the actual striking of the string, which is unfortunate, but I think you can hear that really high E pitch. Okay, so that's an E. So 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5, all the way up. So this is the biggest possible E major arpeggio. And that's a party trick because it's nice to know, what's the farthest reach of this instrument? How far can the register go? So that's a must know. Take some time to figure out the stretching and enjoy knowing that you're playing the biggest chord on the guitar that you'll ever be able to. Okay, here is the final party trick, and this is the last lesson in all of Guitar Teacher's Heaven. So this is pretty insane. It's going to sound very extreme. 4-finger tapping in E major, and we're doing a 1, 4, 5 progression. So we're starting on this E major, and there's a color note in there. I think we have the 6 in there. So yeah, we have like root, third, fifth, and the 6th, and then the root again, and then we come back. So that's what we'd say the sequence was root, third, fifth, 6th, octave, and in reverse. So this will sound really strange, and if you look at the repeats here, I have that this is repeating 4 times, and then the 4 and the 5 chord are just repeating twice. So see what's going on here. There's some tapping, and all the fingering is there, so it should be clear what we're doing. And let's see how this sounds. I haven't played this in 20 minutes or so I just want to warm up, and now I'll do it again. So that's it. I just repeated this whole thing twice. And you can get really greasy on this and just let it fly. And what's cool about this is that we're hammering all of this on. Here I did put that we're hammering everything on and pulling off too. So it's cool because we're hitting it open, then with our left hand we're going index and pinky, and then we're hammering on with our right hand using our index and pinky again. So it looks really cool when you're doing this. So give it a shot. I'll try it one more time. Okay, so that would sound really cool with distortion. It's very shocking. I didn't want to change my tone. I decided to keep it clean for all of these 50 guitar lessons. So that's it. Thank you very much for sticking out with me. I hope you enjoyed everything. I certainly had fun presenting this, and I hope that these lessons will be around for a long time. So if you have friends that are serious about guitar, please show them this series. And again, if you're a guitar teacher, feel free to use these however you wish to instruct your students. Thank you very much for spending some time with me, and I will see you soon, I hope. Goodbye.